Hello, welcome back. I wasn't planning on recording today, but since I can't record tomorrow, and it's about 2 a.m. today, I need to wait for my uploads to upload, because, I started an upload about, 6 or 7 p.m. yesterday, and, it's still uploading. When I started, it said it was only going to take an hour, and then a storm came in, and it went like, oh, it'll take about 2 hours. And my brother restarted the router, and now it says it'll be done. It doesn't even give me a time. And I've been waiting for, it's only at, what, 67? My door just made a noise. Yeah, you did. And door, find good boy. But yeah. Also, while I've been waiting, I've been trying to play different ways. I tried Commissar. And then I am currently working with a Pyromancer Warrior build with the Steel Forge. I'll probably end up taking a different, doing another one, trying to get something else to work, because I do like Psyker, but finding a way to make Psyker more, you know, than what I've used it for is basically buffs, is becoming a bit of a problem. Yeah, I also found out that there is some people working on a mod to make it so you can play as Ancient Psyker, Navigator, and Tech Priest. Which, I won't mind checking out that mod eventually. I'm gonna store them. We're just going to drop her off and leave. She'll die eventually. So once you come here, you'll probably die of old age, if I'm going to be honest. I didn't even check to see if the recording's working. Yep. Also, I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but this game takes forever to go to cloud saving. And I mean forever.
They will see. Oh, yes, indeed. They all will see.
Welcome to the Palace of Adeptus Semistorum. Identifying your lordship, please follow me.
Patience? My nerves are frayed.
I'm guessing this is like the DMV, but worse. And I don't even want to. No. So, look at the damn thing. Master of Seals. Good for you. An ancient-looking woman in a voluptuousness robe peers at your critically through her optical lenses when you descend into the bowels of her biometric domain. Another normal bypassing the queue under the pretext of just wanted to ask. All you highborns ever just want to is just to ask, but what about protocol? That's what I'm asking. Who is going to follow protocol? Glances at you and whisper, "What? So I paid off a few clerks to let us skip the queue, Shireen. Your time is more important to me than any little formalities." Very well. Don't just stand there, you here now. Do you think the Master of Seals has nothing better to do than receive unexpected visitors? The old weapon bunkers, the service skull floating nearby. Begin entry, current hour, current time, current cycle, 41st millennia. Metal manipulators immediately begin flourishing clackings, taking addictions. Peers over her clear lenses at Jay in disbelief. Then she looks at you. I take it you are her sponsor. In that case, you must submit a written application and conformity with template number 404.01. File not found! As written permission for the proceedings and narrations of the personal data of your most secret personage. Without it, I cannot issue Mistress Hidari. Mistress Hidari, the form for collecting the seals requested is to the articles certification of an official trade representative. After these words, discuss smiles drops from the seals. What seals? We will discuss that with Ivan von Valencius has prepared the primary documentation. Lets out a stoic sigh and rolls his eyes. You get the feeling that this is not his first personal interaction with the Mr. of Bureaucracy, nor is it his second. The perfectly sharpened quill scratches pleasantly on the parchment, but for the first few minutes, the obscene phrasing, footnotes, and amendments, you are forced to write out the same details over and over about you, the projector, Theodore von Valencius, Jay, and then also every living person who bears your family name. If you do not know all the required information, you must complete supplementary forms. Next, consent form for the proceeding and nutrition of the personal data of your most sacred personage. Holds over the scroll now, covering it in writing for you to reinforce the word with the von Valencius coats of arms sealed. Only now do you notice that the plebeian expression chicken scratch writing describes her gnarled penmanship absurdly accurate. Protocol executed, application received, processing approved. Come on, esteemed Daman, what are you were saying about seals? Here is your document, Mistress. Unfortunately, it does not yet have legal force. I can clarify as secret. Once it has received 2 seals of approval, they are easy to obtain. The Count Mr. servitors have been hauling tasks for over 150 cycles. There is one such servitor here on Rogue Trader's Palace. The second is duty bound to keep the seals in the Eclipse system. With satisfaction, please do return once you have prepared the documents.
There will be no peace in my wake.
How do I use seal?
Curiosity sings in my veins.
is the second most important. Oh, we need to go the seal on Janice. Find the seal, return to the palace. Okay!
This tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
So do I just talk to her again? Complete with seals. Yes, indeed. It's perfect. The seals are authentic, so we may continue with the certification procedures. Follow me now. I have a kitty cat who's just going crazy behind me. Bureaucracy! Yay! Like I said, it's like the DMV here. This is your queue, and your ticket is the old woman. It's the paper 394. When it is your turn to be seen, the ranking prefect will review your documentation again and sign the official certification for J. Hurden to possess a Markham to officiate. You will have a bit of a wait, but it will be worth it in the end. Yes. And I bid you good day. May the law of the Emperor keep you. Don't worry, I've done this before.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment.
What did you find? Please? What did you find? I am a blind man. Okay, where are you? You're there. Oh, who the hell knows what he found?
Amidst the madness.
Oh, is that what he found all the way back here? I mean, these people talk here on like the DMV. This is kind of the real reasons why I. Hell yeah. Not try to figure out a way.
Patience! My nerves are frayed!
Oh, whatever he found, it's lost to the DMV. The hum of thousands of voices. Someone has rolled out bleeding and is settling down to sleep. Someone is playing some bizarre musical instrument. Many are praying. Several highborn petitioners are debating who is here on the most important business. You have to admit the administrative machinery of the Imperium isn't without its rough edges. But what a thrilling adventure this is turning out to be, Shireen. I've never seen anything like it before, and sometimes it's good to take a break from constant traveling and give all the hot-blooded newcomers a chance to cover themselves in glory without us in the way. The people are constantly moving, coming and going, changing places, or simply disappearing from view. On your first attempt, you count 238 petitioners. On your second attempt, you count 244. On your third attempt, the next batch of unlucky souls is ushered into the hall, and you lose count. While you whittle away 30 seconds of your wait, you wonder how long you have left to go. Number 284, proceed to the available window. So, take me, the judge's trials have we let ourselves in for? Almost willing to spare. So much precious time lost, and we've only moved 3 places ahead. At this rate, we'll be old and gray before we can get out of this queue ring. You won me, Shireen. Jerry always has a better idea. What would you say to making the good folk ahead of us hurry a little, just a smidge? Your eyes directly over to the faces of the people around you. Open fire on the crowd! The simplest way is to make the lowly subjects bow down before the blind radiance of our title Shireen. The second option requires a little more patience. I have always found our first, the comparison who is standing 50 paces ahead of us in the queue, simply for the right words to unlock his heart and gladly swap tickets with you. As I have power to solve the problem and petitioner remove their needs to visit a coveted window. After all, is there anything in our citizen would want is beyond the power of the conquest of the stars to grant? Open fire on the crowd. My decision. Gold traders always say, yeah, let's get this working. Exalt 1 would today be my lucky day. No longer will I have to stand in this hall, waiting day and night for my turn to come. This kind Lord benefactor. I'm at the point where I'm just going to start shooting people. Same Lord, take pity on this poor soul, youth. I will give you anything I have. I swear before the Emperor solve my problem. Place the queue. My lord, I have been in this queue for 24 moons. Only 2 years. Warren Walker. Alrighty, trying to get a permission slip to wed my fiance, Zazie. Unfortunately, the service minister refused to grant it without the signature of a highborn sponsor. Out of my way, esteemed lord, my 8th offspring has lost his mind. He has decided to renounce his family, his noble titles, his talents as a healer, all for the sake of some tattered wife from the middle class. A union with a commoner will put an end to his studies at the university, but should only officially be deprived of capacity chagrins because of a passing fancy. She helps the people of I have a great deal more than a lily white screwing with a diploma. I do not want to live a life of illness. Sure, we'll just do this. Fuck it. That means our marriage will finally be certified, and Zazie will be able to become a chagrin now too. I don't know how to thank you, my lord. Here, please take my place. I will return later, this time with my fiancé. If I've made your case, I do not care. You have an interesting way of doing business, Rain. I'll keep that in mind. Her shrewd eyes are alight with interest as she watches the young petitioners leave. Death for life. It allows you a brief pause, a hunched over ragamuffin. Words. Peers over the man's shoulder to read his crumpled form. You are here to request mortification so that your organs go to your granddaughter as an inheritance, so will hardly want your worn out body parts. Old timer. Servitor disposal. Ragaman shakes his head and covers his face with his wrinkled hands. Only now do you notice the tattoo on his right hand, the symbol of the Adeptus Administrorum, and several interlocking chains. It seems this old fellow is the property of a prefect of this palace. Jade looks at the man's form again and rears back in horror. The granddaughter of this poor wretch has turned into a servitor 16 darkness years ago, and after a recent accident she was listed for disposal, and now this old man is volunteered to be spare parts for our soulless tin can. May the Exalted One keep me from such a fate. In order for your granddaughter to be prepared, but if you wish to be here forever, you will be subject to servitude. We'll have my people eye your granddaughter's release and see to your welfare. Your sacrifice means nothing to a servitor. You do realize that. You don't have to die. If she has been taken out of service, then the time has come to release her. Nods in understanding. Yes, I understand. Emperor, watch over you. We'll turn you into a servitor too. I'm not losing my profit factor. I need that. Interesting. So that is how the ruler of worlds and all the stars in the skies act when he finds an unfortunate on the edge of his. Well, if he nods presently and beckons out the next petitioner forward. No, fuck that! A mature weapon is finally made by Thoroughboard Dress. Greets you. I heard you were helping those in need. Well, my family is devastated. My life work. Oh, my shop selling rare hats. Burnt to ashes. I'm living on my last years as a widow. Alone in a cold, deserted manor. Without servants, diversions, or delicacies befitting my stature. The woman falls on her brow raised in expectation of your response. And what you want is a life that is meaningless and full of despair. Perhaps it is time you turn to faith, sister. Goes around in surprise. Why, I think you're right. What do I want with Tumble Down Manor, a house full of rats, and a depressing view from the window? My whole life I have dreamt of interparallel travel, a pilgrimage, that's it. I'll sell the house and what's left of the shop, and I'll buy a one-way ticket, and Emperor willing, I will die happy before my savings run out. Well, that was amusing. I paid off the last few onlookers who were willing to give up their place. It's a pity they aren't also amenable. Jade switches seconds. She now holds and nods with satisfaction. We'll only be here 3 more years. We move forward considerably in the queue, Shireen, but you aren't ready to stop there, are you? Open fire on the crowd! I'll be honest, Shireen, I already tried to convince Heinrichs to use his interrogators risotto with sweet words and pretty songs. I cajoled and wheeled, but he remains unmoved, like a rock whipped by the wings. Perhaps he will be more amenable to a request from you. After 8 planetary hours go by, the queue has hardly moved. The adepts in the next window was dealing with rebelling machine spirits and his cogitator, so the petitioners from the queue were diverted to the middle of yours. You're a saint. Have I told you that before? You must be, because I don't see any other reason why you would show such fervent but senseless patience. Can't we hurry things along? I prefer to call it my wisdom, leaned from many years of experience, but I don't care about the precious wordings. We succeeded! Casting his eyes over the wailing hall, Heinrichs heaves a resigned sigh. It would be unpardonable to waste so much time here. I better come back in 20 moons. Here, is this what you were so desperate to holds out 3 queue tickets dropped by petitioners fleeing the very sight of the interrogator? Do not ask me to resort to such tricks again. We move forward considerably in the queue, Shireen, but you're ready to stop there, are you? But to me, to us, it's, all is fair in love and bureaucracy. Like, I'm at the point where I'll just start shooting into the group. If the Ashmags want to be tricked, I won't stop them. J. Smugs watches the crowd whispering about themselves and jabbing each other with sheaves of paper. Sheaves of paper. Shivs of paper. We move forward considerably in the queue, Shireen, but aren't ready to stop there, are you? May the Emperor note your path, brother. I am Jay, and this is Ivan. We've been in the queue so long already. We're all practically found now. Why don't you tell us what brought you to this place in order? Starts in surprise. Yes, Light of the Thrones, bless you. My name is Menes de Per. I have been here a month already. I've tried everything I can to get through to the window. Nothing's working. My poor Alina, she's my daughter, my flesh and blood. They detained her on Vobo 6. Charged her. Can you believe it? The charges were false. That's how our administrator operates. Covers his mouth and glances around fearfully. I've said too much. I do apologize. It's my nerves. I just keep thinking about her through on flesh, shackled down in the mines. My poor Alina. Delicate as a flower she is. She's probably dead by now. She's got weak lungs, you understand, always coughing and her now down in the mines. All of the dust and muck, she won't cope with it. She won't. She was acquitted 2 years ago, but to get the papers certified and the seal, so much time has passed, and now here I'm standing waiting, and it doesn't matter, at the rate this queue's moving, it'll be 10 cycles and more before our number comes up. Falsely accused, she was slandered. They said she deliberately poisoned a whole room of highborn folk with cakes. Have you ever heard the likes of it? Those nobles didn't even make as far as the privy. Panic, outrage, scandal, and so what? It was their own fault. What's that? A crate of fine Calyx wine was found, and the smugglers were found too. And what did the smugglers do? They framed someone else, and my daughter was charged. Of course, blame the smugglers. Thank you, and may the Emperor aid you in your petition as well. Fuck it! One more and I'm going to start opening fire! Swish, Helene makes her way to the center of the room. Attention, before it was Lordship Ivan von Flint's rogue trader and anointed sovereign of this world. Bow your unworthy heads and masters for place in the queue. An excited member rises to the crowd. Blessed be his lordship, the rogue trader, and the entire von Flint's line. Of course, we lowly subjects will bow our heads and have reverence before our great sovereign, and will serve his lordship however he requires, for we find our purpose through the service to him. Okay, we've pulled everything out except for guns. And Ivan is just floating there, sitting and standing. Look at Shireen. Went just as expected. Well, almost. Active in the queue. Petitioners exchange glances, clutching their paperwork. After a few seconds, you realize that the number being called out by the service call for 3 times is the one on your ticket. Well, that wasn't faster than that. Went faster as I expected. We had a little bit of a wait, and of course, but at times it was actually fun. One last seal, one more certification, and we'll be looking at official trade petition. Joy, hate. What are you waiting for, Shireen? Let's go. We're here another couple of hours with the certification officer to get through. Certification officer leans over the documents, his smoothly shaven head gleaming, his augmented ocular eyes were, as the lens zoom in and out, with quite scratching sounds. The cogito quill that serves in place of the officer's fingers make note on a fine sheet of paper. The document is hereby certified, returned to the master seals in order to proceed, and may his light and wisdom guard you. Next. Look. Yes, I'm just doing this to annoy the fuck out of people here. Once I did it, first time I did it by accident. The rest of it was to annoy people. Yeah. Wonder the Emperor bless you with a patience greater than that appointed to ordinary mortals. Allow me to verify the authority of your documents for the final time. Yes, confirm everything is in order, and this one, and the seal is smudged slightly. Evaporates, revealing her true motion. Void scorpion scratched out my eyes. Now what? I suppose I can overlook it, given that the rest has been correctly certified, and promptly congratulations. Jay Hayden, you are now the holder of... do not forget to report the certification process every 100 Terran cycles. Okay. Does that mean every 100 months? Or 100 days or 100 years? Uphold the law of the Imperium proudly and honorable the worlds of the Koran's expanse. Because are you talking about the lunar cycle? I guess it would be the cycle around the sun. So that's every 100 years. And one more thing, loss of certification is a grievous transaction. Mr. Lose the original document, and you will be unable to regain your status as an official trade representative, not even with the rogue trader's endorsement. Yes, esteemed Demir, give me the certification already. Come on. Jay starts over it with delight. Praise the Exalted One who saw me through all these trials, Shireen. This is something to tell the grandchildren about how a humble mortal became a true representative of the Imperium. Let's not bother the Damar any longer, Shireen. Why don't we discuss our next step on the ship? Great, your grandmother!
What lies beyond?
I wonder how many people just decide to open fire on the crowd. To be fair, I was very close. If what we were doing did not work, I probably would have. And I did all that without losing profit factor.
Shireen, light of my eyes, giver of boons and savior of the needy. From now on, two sons will grace the firmament of the Font Valancius Protectorate. One bright and powerful, like the rogue trader himself, and the other slightly more humble, like his unassuming partner, the diligent owner of the Mercatum Tabula Officiale, and all-around delight, Jai Hidari. As I promised before, my crew will be your eyes and ears across the entire expanse, Shireen. Just give them time. And of course, the assistant to official trade representative Jai Hidari is already rushing to Dargonis to deliver goods of rare and exquisite quality to you and your people, O master of many worlds. And once again, thank you, Shireen, from the bottom of my humble heart.
The throne be my witness!
Nothing will make me part with this treasure, Shireen. May the Exalted One be my witness. Him and all the stars in the expanse that shine like a handful of pearls scattered across the dark velvet of the galaxy. I only have one last question to ask.
Simply holds your gaze, ignore the disapproving look of the surrounding officers.
No? Huh. The Aji must have clouded my mind, Shireen. Or was it your piercing gaze? Either way, I only wanted to thank you for your assistance and give you something in addition to this humble gift. Oh, I have no doubt you will.
We did all that for a fucking... Oh! Yes, please. Enter turn, they remove, yada yada yada. I'm okay with having a scribe servo skull. I don't want one of those annoying announcer ones. The vocals on them never sound right. More like screeching than announcing. I'm thinking if we want to take Jay or not. I won't take the risk. She has... Oh, we've only been here a few seconds, and this looks like it's complete hell. It reminds me of Dark Tide. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I won't take the chance of Xenotech being seen. At least not on an Inquisitor's person. Oh great, there's a rebellion in order. This is what I was talking about! My ears! The Emperor protects. Welcome home, your lordship. The stately woman in a long, full uniform makes a graceful curtsy. Her short, graying hair does not obscure her stern features. I am Cleminta Rustrin, Court Chancellor of the Von Valencia Dynasty. On behalf of all of Daragnus, please accept my deepest condolences on the untimely passing of Theodora von Valencius. Her departure is a terrible blow to us all, but as one star expires, another always flares to life. And although she is still overcome with weariness and grief, your subjects hope that you will become the Trade Dynasty's guiding light in these trying times. That's not how stars work. Your analogy fails! Deduct 50 paints for flurs! It's reserved nod. She nods in return, and lines on his brow soften ever so slightly. The young man quickly brings a respirator to his burnt face, bows his head, curtsy, his raven black hair veils his burns and skull implants, and his thin middle fingers creak quietly as he offers a welcoming gesture. Achilles Skillander, Secretary of the Ministerial Department. I hope your journey to Dex was not darkened by unwanted troubles. Makes the sign of the Aquila, and may his remain merciful to us till the end of time. Does your lordship wish to survey the grounds, or perhaps we could state your curiosity by answering the questions you might have? Governor Arvin Darvstream has been notified of your arrival on Dignus and will visit the palace shortly. The preparations for the official visit are well in hand, but your lordship still has plenty of time before the meeting. You heard correctly, your lordship. I am of House Western Lord's granddaughter and direct descendant. The succession of service is an effective good. It grants new generations understanding of their function within the mechanism. Chancellor has held her position at the Von Valencius court for many years. She earned Lord Captain Theodora's respect through acts of great preserve. There's no room for doubt. Blood has nothing to do with it. Apologies, your lordship. Governor Differsum resides in the other side of the world. By the immersive palace of Dragnus, we sent word as soon as you enter the system, but it takes time to travel the great distance of your domain. Well, considering we were in the equivalent of the space DMV, he should be here by now. Chancellor appears unruffled. but you cannot shake the thought that the governor's lateness is a subtle political gesture to test the limits of what is accepted, but when it comes to interacting with the new rogue trader. They're very close, just down the hall. There is also where the study and the audience chamber are. His face brightens with a pearly white smile, restoring some of his former good looks. Lady Theodora Sodi has remained locked since her last departure, but on account of your arrival, we've arranged for it to be tidied up. It is ready whenever you may need it. I apologize for my bluntness, but I have a request to make. Perhaps before the meeting takes place, the illustrious Lord Captain can spare a few moments for a conversation with me. Bows his head. I am certain that it will find my report on the state of affairs in the Vonless Protectorate most useful.
Even I won't do that.
Where did everybody go?
How intriguing.
You're not helping me! I'm looking for anyone with... No, I don't want to talk to... Oh, shady character. Then again, at this point, I can't even tell who's shitty and who's not after all the shit we've been through. Why are you here? I did do some searching about when I was looking at for class things. I did see that some people were talking about the reason why they probably don't have the Adeptus Mechanicus as an option, like a tech priest as an option, and they say it's because the implants mess with the blood or something. They cause it so that the thing wouldn't recognize the rogue trader. So that's the reason why, at least that's what I heard. I don't know if it's actually true because I am, when it comes to the rogue trader stuff, I know very little. Though I wouldn't mind have gotten my hands on a set of the books for the tabletop version. I know I probably would have loved to play with my friends, but I know that life makes it so we can't even do stuff like tabletop stuff anymore. So I'm kind of having to do this type of stuff by myself nowadays. And I have to supplement my wantings to play D&D and other like tabletop stuff via video games like this. Okay. sees Drakari. If I see a Drakari in this palace, I'm going to probably burn down the palace. Some people will say that is a very drastic measure. I say that's the equivalent of how some people would do with spiders. I may not be afraid of them, doesn't mean I want them to be here. I'm going to get ambushed here, aren't I? Don't worry, I'm just here to loot my own world. Where are you going? Ivan! Feels like I'm not going to rest because we already got people wanting to. Oh. Look at this hellhole. Okay, aristocrat. Oh, Heinrichs. I'm looking for Pascal, if you're wondering why I am just searching like a rabid madman. Other than, you know, the obvious loot. Oh, there he is. Okay, what we got to say, Pascal? So who are we missing? I feel like we haven't seen somebody. Center fitted golden robe made from expensive fabric, shudders from violent coughing. Pressing a gilded respirator to his face, the man takes several deep breaths. I know how that feels. Achilles, it's been many moons. I hope your cousin is feeling well. Covers his burnt lips, trying and failing to suppress a coughing fit. She is in good health. She sends her regards to you as well as her wishes for your safe return. For as long as the stars shine in the sky, my vigil continues. So be it. Your insight deserves credit, rogue trader. Then again, I expected nothing less from Theodora von Valencia's successor. Allow me to introduce Achilles Scadeller properly. In addition to his duties as Secretary of the Ministerium, he acts as an agent of the Golden Throne under my aegis. Master Scadeller was transferred into my remit by a colleague who is engaged in other matters in the Corrosive Expanse. I'm sure you will find Achilles' service useful, especially when dealing with these schemes of humanity's foes within the borders of your protectorate. Greetings, Lord Ivan von Valencius. Allow me once again to express my deepest condolences at the on the loss of Lady Theodora. I will do everything I can to track and destroy all Conrad's accomplices on the capital. Do you know anything about... Leslie Grimm's word of his treason reached Darganus too late. Conrad came to this planet and left it almost immediately, once he had sown discord in the minds of the gullible and naive. The worst of the rumors have stated was that you were the one responsible for Theodora's sudden demise. Of course, your loyal subjects did their best to get alive any who would show signs of doubt, but it seems unlikely that the wardens got to anyone who has allowed doubt into their hearts and now nurture it in secret. About 5 years ago, there was an accident. Several tanks of Promethium exploded in the storehouse at my estate, and I was buried alive under the rubble. The Emperor preserved my soul, and skilled physicians saved my body, except for my lungs, with which I had to part. I presume the incident was an attempt on my life, but the identity of whoever was behind remains a mystery. Question then. Why don't you have... Oh, what's the name of the types of lungs that the Adeptus Mechanicus have? Oh well. Officially, I am the Secretary of this world's administrator. Less officially, I'm afraid I can disclose that even to you. In short, I collect and investigate reports of heresy taking roots on upstanding planets of Emily. Above all, I am concerned about the Xenos threat that hangs over the entire cross, including the Protectorate. Sadly, my mission was complicated by the recent warp disturbance. I still try to re-establish contact with many of my agents. My knowledge is deplorably limited, your lordship. All my attention has been focused on tracking Xenos activity. I'm certain the Master Van Calexis tells you much more about these heretics than I. The residents of the local system are no strangers to skirmishes with enemies, because recently the loathsome beasts seem to have completely flown off the handle. We've received reports from ships that made it through the warp to Dargos. Both they and the colonies they departed are being attacked. We have identified the breed of Xenos that pose this threat, the Drakari, humanity's ancient and insidious foe, but be vigilant on your travels. The Xenos will undoubtedly attack a rogue trader ship, should they find the circumstances to be in their favor. Don't worry! We've done plenty of space battles. Unfortunately, in the host of humanity, there are those who are willing to grovel before our enemy in the hopes of valuable rewards. You may be interested to know that there are on the trail of some heretics. Glances at the overwhelming evidence indicates that a marauder void station and Lungus belt is being used by a band of pirates who have not above dealing with Xenos. I was unable to persuade the Chancellor of the need to dispatch the ship, but perhaps you would like to pay a courtesy call to those scoundrels yourself. I have already forwarded all official reports to your Seneschal. As for the conversation we're having right now, I wouldn't trust any paper or data slate with its contents. You see, Lady Theodora, may the Emperor have mercy on her soul, was perfectly aware of Draga's political environment. You, however, have just arrived on the capital world, and I thought it would be best to bring you up to speed. Frankly, the nobles of, much like nobles on most worlds, are akin to spiders in a jar, ready to pounce on whatever is the weakest, or whomever they deem to be the weakest. They will find... I've been the happiest man in the universe. And I am very close to burning this place down. And Ivan has no problems with that. The nobles are well-respected, rich, and powerful individuals who held Theodore's favor for many years and found ways to rise above the rest by diligently serving the rogue trader. Every family pursues its own selfish interests, and each one expects that with the transition of power, they will retain and even add to their lands and wealth. The families I recommend giving proper attention are the Driffims, the Gokviks, and the Sowerbacks. I should also mention the Whistners, not a noble house per se, but a family that was part of Lady Theodore's inner circle, to the Blue Bloods' great displeasure. The ancient governor house of Dragnes, predictably, the greater the wealth of the Von Valencia's protectorate, the fuller their coffers grew. Their reputation is flawless, except for one detail. We have evidence that rivals seem to have the misfortune of regularly falling victim to Xenos raids. I bet these attacks are always a little too advantage for the dev streams, but we lack solid proof, and it might never surface. The closer an official is to a rogue trader, the braver and safer they feel. I would just like to remind everyone that rubbing soldiers with Xenos is a heresy that can be overlooked only in the case of Von Valencia's heir, not his servant. I'm glad we're on agreement here, bud. Oh yeah, and for those wondering why I didn't, kill the the Eldari and do that stuff with Janice, it's a lot more better and efficient if the Eldari stayed there and healed the planet, because they know how to heal warp better than we do. And if it was found that the planet was corrupted, yeah, goodbye, Agri-World. Plus, since Eldari takes so long to reproduce, we can always just kill them all whenever we please. Hail from a remote Forge world, and among their distant relatives, they are many of the servants of the Omnissiah. The house itself is close to the cult of the Dutch Mechanics, both in spirit and their business connections. Oversaw the industrial shipments from the Protectorate. Until recently, even since their communication with Kavia was secured, they've been quite concerned about the security of the planets placed in their care. Chick said, through a grim tidings, it's a tragedy that an industrial world of such tremendous capacity was brought down by the pernicious influence of the archenemy. Perhaps my colleagues can pick up the cultist trail in the cold void. Of course, it would be a small consolation to all of us. Religious and hardworking, the Sowerbacks are many entrepreneurs, including distillations manufactorums that produce promethium. I must note that lately members of the Sowerbacks have been prone to over-liberal statements about the Von Valencia dynasty. They believe that Lady Theodora is a bit too keen to leave her worlds without proper oversight. Lucios are a line founded by Lady Theodora's Seneschal, and as soon as such are normally considered a nobility, at least from the standpoint of the Imperial Navy, from which Lord Albrecht hails. On Dragnes, however, their position is precarious. Firstly, they never were granted an official title, a process which has been impeded for decades by the old houses of Dragnes, and secondly, the other families do not see them as equals, but more as upstarts clinging to the rogue trader's favor. Ministers are responsible for the capital world's fleet and the majority of the cargo shipments on domestic routes. There was, your lordship, and this time it concerns the main reason my presence was on this planet, Xenos, and the threat they pose to you and to humanity as a whole. The last few months have been difficult for the people who report to me. My eyes and ears scattered through the Corona's expanse, warp disturbances, astropath overcome with madness, ships disappearing in the Materium. Many of my observers and contacts have gone dark. and or have been killed by some calamity or other. Still, I managed to establish communications with some key individuals who have been able to warn me about incoming threats, including Xenos raids. Looks at you guys without blinking. It is within my power to supply you with intelligence on where and when the Xenos will strike next. I do not doubt the Governor Davison will beg you for protection against the Xenos, and in this fight, the information from my contacts will serve you well. I beseech you, Ivan, if I ever report a threat looming over a ship or a planet, do not dismiss it. Sometimes it takes an intervention from the rogue trader and his mighty void ship to avert disaster. Don't worry. We've cleared out a lot of things, and if I have to go back to Footfall, there's one place I need to go before then. According to the message I received a few minutes ago, has arrived at court. I imagine that the Chancellor is already prepared to arrange the meeting. All that's left is to notify her that you are ready to see him. Oh, I first need to know who do I need to talk to? Oh well. He can wait his ass a little bit longer. So I was told I have a room. And you know me. We gotta loot everything that's not nailed down.
What curiosity unveils itself before me?
Shoes! They gain... it's at the end of the round, so basically during their turn. Whenever the wearer moves through a cell occupied by enemy, the wearer gains... Okay... What? Why do we have a multi-melta in here? I only know of 2 people that could probably use that. Huh. Okay. Apparently using xenotechnology is in the family. I guess we could have told that by once that gets away... Oh. 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 We're just gonna mosey on through here. Grudge plus 10 detect goose. So increases plasma damage. We know who that would be good for. Also, what was this for? When the wearer hits an ally with an area attack. We know who that's going to. Actually, now that I mention, I haven't seen her the entire time we've been here. The room is remarkably quiet and almost homely. Perhaps her predecessor used it when she in complete solitude, listening to the muted melody coming from the Vox speaker. You can easily imagine that you are reading a book with a glass of expensive wine in your hand. Zero books stuck on the sofa. Some ancient, who others appear like they have never been opened. Theodore's data that has been restored using your cogitator is the phrase. Is the title of one of this book's ears. As you open the book, the hidden button is in the spine, clicks under your finger. You recognize the melody that is playing right now. It is the 36 parts of the Symphony of Honor of Duty. Grows louder, filling the entire room, then goes back to normal, seems without any change. Time to do it again! That only leaves one... Oh! Ivan! You're getting gassed again. Delight, gold. Responds to your actions with a quick grinding sound, and a small nook reveals itself nearby. Wall inside, you find a data bank bearing the Von Valencia's coats of arms. As it's a lasgun. A lasgun created by inhuman hands. Oh, I was gonna say, oh, we love to look into the void. Did we even look at the contradictor? Yeah, we did. This is a very common scene. A picture of the golden holy palace. Oh, they definitely gotten their money's worth, considering how many times Ivan's has unleashed the thing. Oh, there's Cassia. Nope. That's gonna be it for this episode. We've gone to the Space DMV and we've gassed Ivan twice. So I'll see you all in the next.